Let's begin part 2. I'm going to give you a document with a topic you have to answer. You will have to talk about the topic for 1 to 2 minutes. You have 1 minute to think about what you are going to say. You can make some notes to help you if you wish. You have 1 minute to prepare, starting now. Okay, time's up. Please stop preparing. You now have 2 minutes to begin speaking. And go.
Okay, well, I haven't had many opportunities to wait for something or somebody, but I can definitely remember this one time I had to wait for a friend of mine. My friend and I had to wait for him at the doctor's office for a very long time. What happened was my friend and I were going skiing in the mountains, and he made an error in his skiing, and he ended up falling off the side of the mountain. And it wasn't a really far drop, but he fell about 10 or 15 feet and hit the ground very, very hard. And so the doctors had to come and take him to the emergency people had to come and take him to the doctor's office, and they had to do an emergency surgery to fix his leg. And so it was a long time to wait, and during that time I took advantage of doing a few different things. The first thing I did was play some games on my cell phone, such as Tetris and Bejeweled and a few other games, which was very, very fun. After that, I decided that it would be nice to check my Facebook, and I looked at what some of my friends were commenting on about the accident. And then finally, I was able to return some emails to some friends and family to keep them updated on what he was doing. Normally, I don't like to wait. It's not something that I enjoy doing very much. However, in this situation, it was my friend, and so I really didn't mind it because he needed me there to make sure he was well taken care of and to also give him some comfort. So that is the time that I can really remember waiting for somebody.
Okay, please stop. We will now move to part 3. I have a few follow-up questions related to the topic you just discussed. Do you have to wait often?
No, I don't have to wait very often. Uh, I would say probably I've had to wait for somebody maybe 3 or 4 times a year. Most of the time, the type of people that I'm with, we don't really put ourselves in situations where we just have to wait for each other for very long periods of time.
On what occasions do people have to wait, usually in your country?
Definitely in traffic. I would say that for the most part, traffic is very, very bad in my country. And so people spend a lot of time just sitting in their cars or sitting on buses, waiting and waiting and waiting and waiting. The only other times that people in my country have to do a lot of waiting is when we have celebrations such as Carnival, where it's very, very crowded and there are people everywhere. You just have to wait to walk somewhere or to get into a restaurant. So those are the main times when people have to wait.
What would you suggest to reduce the waiting time?
Well, going back to what I was talking about before in terms of the traffic in my country, I think we could really reduce the waiting time if more people carpooled. You know, they rode together and they rode together in one car, three or four people in one car. Another possibility would be if they decided to take mass transportation a lot more. A final thing that can happen to reduce waiting time will be if the city built a much better subway system. We have one, but it could be better.
Some say that sometimes we need to wait to start valuing things more. Do you agree or disagree?
I could agree with that. I'm trying to think of a situation where waiting for something may make you value it a little bit more. Probably in the situation, I can remember the situation of when I got my first car. I had to wait for a while to get my first car because I had to save up money to be able to buy it. And so when I finally was able to get the car and I paid all that money for it, I definitely held a much higher value for it.
Do you think patience is crucial for everyone?
I would absolutely say that we need more patience in the world. Uh, Most people live their lives very, very fast, and they always think that where they're going is more important than someone else. Patience usually causes a lot of unhappiness and also stress for people. So I would definitely think that it is something that is very significant and important for everybody.
Thank you. That will conclude part 3.